Okay, I'm here with Lewis Pendleton at the Gateshead Hilton ahead of the Resurrection show on Saturday at the Leisure Centre in Gateshead. Lewis?
Hiya, you alright?
Yeah, it's been building for a while now. It's almost there, the show, and obviously with the work with Dennis Hobson for the first time. How has it all been? Because you've obviously had to take quite a lot of new things on board with this one.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we did a show with Steve Wraith back in May. Obviously plenty of experience running amateur shows, so the crossover's been fairly straightforward for us. Lots going on, organising and agreeing the deal with Made in Tyne and Weir TV has been massive, so we have an exclusive deal there with Made in Tyne and Weir to cover all of our future shows. And for us to be the major outlet for television and North East boxing, generating exposure for the boys. So that was a big thing for us
fantastic.
to pull in. Yeah, and I think you've touched on it in previous interviews. We need exposure for the North East. We need people to know about it, and what better way than our company joining forces with a local TV company to raise the profile and make boxing as big as it possibly can. And that leads into Box Nation shows and all the other stuff that's going on out there as well. So I think for us it's a fantastic opportunity.
And obviously working with Dennis for the first time, that must be good fun.
Yeah. It's been interesting. We've learned a lot, and Dennis is great to work with. Dead straightforward and honest, and that's the way we do our business. So for us, it was about the opportunity for him to open doors. He's seen what John's about. Yeah. He's also seen the bad side of John, but is prepared to work with us. We've been down to Sheffield and met Dennis and talked about John, talked about Travis, talked about Craig, and the plans for the future as we want to sign more boxers and become more forward-facing. So Dennis has been excellent, and appreciate the help and support and helping to rebuild John. And we're looking forward to the next 18 months and trying to get John into some sort of Commonwealth, European, potentially world title shot in the next couple of years, really, because we genuinely believe that that's the level that he's operating at, and Travis. And Craig isn't far behind in terms of chasing down an English title as well, so exciting.
I've mentioned it in a couple of interviews in terms of boxing fans in particular seem to have short memories in terms of when you think what John Lewis has done with the prize fight, winning the British title, defending it 3 times, keeping onto the belt, and then all of a sudden he has one defeat and some people are writing him off or whatever, you know what I mean, but that's the nature of the sport.
The reality of it is, if he gets a rematch against Mackenzie and beats Mackenzie, he's number 5 in the world. Mm-hmm. So, at the minute he's not even number 4 in Britain perhaps, but as Dennis said, John for me is the number 1 cruiserweight in Britain. He's proven that. He's taken the Lonsdale belt outright. He had a slip up against Oval Mackenzie. It's well documented about everything that's gone on with that, and we don't need to labour the point. We move on. John is a top cruiserweight, and he's getting better every single day. And for us, this is the platform. He's going to show what he's about on the 29th. He's going to do the business, and then we start plotting his return, and whether that's a rematch, whether that's international route. We're not interested in the domestic scene. John's already proven he's above the domestic scene now, and for us, we're chasing down major titles for him. And his brother Travis as well. Yeah,
of course. I mean, it's so unfortunate for Travis with the injury.
Ahead
of the Maxi Muscle final, but again, it's part of the sport. It happens, doesn't it? But
it does. I mean, a genuine injury there. The boy's in a boot. He's in a cast. Another 3 or 4 weeks before he goes back to the doctors. Any notion that we pulled him out was a ridiculous notion. £30,000 was on offer just before Christmas. Bob Ajasaf pulled out, as is well documented, and Bob Ajasaf's pulled out before for the English title.
But Travis would take on King Kong.
Yeah, Travis would have. If it wasn't, Travis would have boxed as he was.
Yeah.
So we're very much of the opinion that Travis is up there. He's not coming when he comes back. He's certainly not coming back on 8 and 10 rounders. He's fighting for a title. He'll be fighting for an international title at least. If the British title presents itself and Bob Ajasaf wants to man up and fight him, then he can. If he doesn't, then we're not bothered, and Bob can sell his phone box full of fans, and we'll move in our direction, and we won't offer Bob the opportunity for a world title shot when Travis is in contention.
Yeah.
So we believe that much in him, and I think really.
Well, he's got world class power at the very least, hasn't he?
Yeah, and people often. He's a very, very good boxer. He's got a fantastic boxing brain. He's learned a lot and developed a lot, and he needs to just ensure that he uses that boxing ability, because he's not just about power. I mean, that is what sets him apart from a lot of fighters in the division, because he's got explosive power. He can take anybody out with either hand, but he's also a very, very astute boxer when he applies himself and boxes to plan. So that was the exciting thing, and that was the thing that we were looking forward to showing the world, that had he boxed on Channel 5, people would have just seen how good he was, because for me, he would have outclassed and outboxed Pogacar. But it's here saying...
But the fight with Clarkson, if nothing else, he's been, maybe he's a fight of the year contender earlier on there, so he's done himself no favours with the exposure he's done with that, and he still obviously hasn't lost against...
Well, he made that tournament. I mean, if you look at the knockout of Danny McIntosh, a former European champion. Again, fantastic boxer, and Travis took him out in 2 rounds. You've then got the Matty Clarkson fight, which was an absolute horrendous watching it behind the scenes, because it was.
But Travis looked in full control early on in that fight, and then he just seemed to
got carried away. He waded in, and as it knocked him over, for me. Perhaps played up a little bit in terms of thinking that he was there to knock him out, and it was his right to knock him out. And fair play to Clarkson. I mean, Clarkson is a very, very good fighter. He's a tough, durable opponent, and he made it hard for Travis. But Travis showed his heart and showed his determination. I mean, anybody to get up the amount of times that Travis did and get himself off the canvas,
not from body shots,
and then win. I mean, who does that? So you can't buy those types of things. You've either got bottle or you haven't, and Travis has got it in abundance. He's got heart in abundance.
He's got a crate, never mind the bottle, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think that's what add to it is his fantastic boxing brain, his fantastic power, and if he gets knocked down, he's getting back up. Who is going to beat him? So we're excited. We're excited about the boys that we've got. We believe in them, and that's our company. Fighting Chance. It's about giving those lads those chances and those opportunities, and we'll create exposure for them, and we'll do the best we can.
Now, speaking of Fighting Chance, obviously you've also got Craig Dixon, one of your guys fighting Lee Mould in the Northern Area title fight on Saturday.
Yeah, fantastic.
Really caught the imagination.
Yeah, Time-Weir Derby, a real 50-50 fight, contrasting styles. Lee's a big puncher. Craig is a very astute boxer, a very, very good boxer. And people don't often, they might look at his record and say he's not knocked anybody out, but tremendous boxer, tremendous boxing brain, boxed for GB, over 130 fights as an amateur. And I think, these are the types of fights that they need to have now. They need to step up. Craig is at that level.
It's the test again, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, in the last fight, we got him an international masters title over 10 rounds, and we're looking. I mean that in itself is a story behind that. That should have been a British masters title, and a couple of weeks before, his opponent, who he was due to fight, who was a big explosive puncher, pulled out.
Fellow Dixon, wasn't it?
It was Tony Dixon.
Tony Dixon.
Yeah. Why he pulled out, we're not sure. But I think if you do your research on Craig and realise the level that he's operated at as an amateur, people don't fancy losing their all. So credit to Lee Mould and credit to Craig, because the fact that you've got two North East boxers, putting their oars on the line, it's pleasing that they've done that, because a lot of times North East fighters will avoid each other and things don't happen, and this is exactly what the North East needs, and the best man really will win on the night. Obviously we believe in Craig, but we also know it's a real potential banana skin, because if Craig doesn't box to plan, then Lee has the ability to put him away. So I think we're excited, we're confident in Craig, we believe 100% in Craig, and once he beats Lee Mould, he can go on and challenge Ahmed Patterson for the English title, and let's see what's around the corner for Craig, because again, very, very exciting, and for us, giving him this opportunity, giving him this exposure, allows him to sell tickets, allows him to become more marketable, so we're doing everything we can to try and help promote Craig Dixon.
You obviously headlined the last show as well, first time he's actually headlined the show, but for me personally, it was the best I've seen from him as a pro. He was punching harder, he was asserting himself more.
He's done a lot of work with our strength and conditioning coach Martin Nugent down at the Academy for Sport in Gateshead at Gateshead College, and he does tremendous work with Gary and Ronnie, who Gary's in the gym with him every night, and Craig's a fantastic trainer, fantastic attitude to training, and you saw that on the night, and I think people will be surprised when they see him on Saturday, and I'm convinced that he's gonna take the Northern Area title and another title for the gym. So
brilliant.
But nervous.
Well, that comes with the territory, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we've also got a couple of Mark Clausel's guys on there.
Yes, yeah. Exciting, definitely. And again, it's about creating relationships. For us, we'll work with everybody and anybody. We're straightforward, honest people, and Mark's got Bazzi Razak on, great record, 2 fights, 2 knockouts. Looking to take him as a relative novice as a pro, but very exciting in terms of his potential. Lewis Scott fighting for either a British Masters or an International Masters. We're just working that one through at the minute, but again, very, very exciting matchup against Rhys Pagan. Rhys has had, I think, 13 fights.
Yeah, he had a fight at the start of the month, another win, so it's 11-2 now.
11-2, so by,
It's William Warburton as well, which...
Yeah, he's a durable character.
He's one of those journeymen where if you're not on your game, he will find you out.
Yeah. I mean, Craig boxed William Warburton, and it was a potential banana skin, and it was the same. Craig boxed Rhys Pagan and beat Rhys Pagan as well. So Lewis has the ability and the punching power to take him out. But I think Rhys is a good boxer, and hopefully this is going to be another challenge for Lewis. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination it's going to be a walk in the park and he's going to take him out. I think it'll be a bit cagey to start with, and
but he's coming to win. It's
there's a title on the line, so
as opposed to you get some fights where one guy comes to win and one guy comes to survive. You're going to be expecting it's a title fight.
Well, he's got a winning record, hasn't he? So and he's not. Rhys Pagan wants to move on. Rhys Pagan's a good lad. We know him from Scotland and his Scottish contingent of fans. So he's coming down with a lot of Scottish fans to take that title and beat Lewis Scott. So they think Lewis, although the big puncher, they think they can outbox him, and it certainly makes for an interesting fight. If Lewis goes looking for the knockout, he may miss him a few times.
Sometimes the danger, isn't it?
Wear himself out. So that appears to be. You don't know what happens in camp, but Lewis is certainly looking sharp, and let's hope he can pick up another title and move on, and we all grow up together, really.